What is up, crew? We're back in here on a Wednesday. Zebec ecosystem, Octaspace, ZDB, Boba Network, and Zano. We're going to get into it and more today. But first, as always, cue my guy, Indigo Saint. Let's get it. Boom.
Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe I was Blackrue Investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting. So we binge on our Blackrue Investing. Best believe I was Blackrue Investing. That course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. Just thank God for that Blackrue Investing. Best believe I was Blackrue Investing.
And we're back. Hey, what's going on, guys? One commercial from our affiliate, DCENT Wallet. Let's do that now.
Your crypto deserves the best protection. So why settle for less? DCENT Crypto Wallet isn't just another wallet. It's safe, secure, easy to use, and supports your favorite cryptocurrencies all at the touch of a button. And now with my exclusive link, you'll save $30 on your new wallet. Better security, smarter investing, $30 in your pocket. Click on the link now and secure your better security today.
$30 off for one, $99 off for two. One of the best ways to help yourself and the channel. Definitely check it out. Yesterday we went live with DCENT Wallet. Very, very honored to have Mr. Kim on the show. We're growing, guys. We're really close to 8,000 subs. I think we're at 7,300 and something right now. You know what I mean? We're growing. We're definitely growing. But, we're a smaller channel. So for DCENT Wallet to take the time to come on our channel, speak directly live to our viewers, that really means something. So shout out to you, Mr. Kim. Thank you for that. So definitely go check that out, guys. If you have some guys, some people that don't know what a crypto wallet is, Mr. Kim broke that down perfectly. We went over a lot of kind of just newbie questions like, why would I even have a wallet? Isn't the exchange safe? Like we went over stuff like that. Can you buy crypto within the wallet? Can you swap within the wallet? And both answers to that question are yes. You can buy crypto within the wallet. There are on-ramps in there. You can swap within the wallet, so you don't need to take your money out of the wallet and put it on the exchange to swap and then put it back on the wallet. You can swap within the wallet. So definitely check that out if you guys haven't already. I know this is a little longer intro, but since we just did the thing with them, I think it's worth it for people to go over there and check that out, especially if you're new. So let's go ahead and get to the thing today. See a lot of regulars in the house. What's up, Yazi? Yair Bay in the house. Let's go. What's up, Dreamer? What's up, David Barron? What's up, Salamander? What's up, Lee? Lee won a wallet from yesterday, so we gave out free wallets. Next show, we're going to give out some more wallets. So definitely check out the next show. We'll give out a couple more wallets. Mr. Kim's going to give us some more free wallets, so we're going to give out a few. So Lee got a wallet yesterday, and Tracy. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate the constant support from all of you guys. So let's go ahead and bring up the share screen here. And it's up. So let me know that you guys can hear me well, that I don't need to turn off the sound any, and then let me know that you can hear this well. Let's go ahead here. I haven't really listened to it other than to kind of figure out where they start the show at, where they actually start talking. So let's play from here and let me know if you can hear it.
30 minutes here to catch up with four of our great partners from within the ecosystem. People, if you could be so kind, hit the little button in the bottom right-hand corner of your mobile device, give the space a like and a repost, and maybe even drop us a comment, and I'll have a look at those a bit later on. Really appreciate you all being here. Simon, I guess before we really get cracking today, I wondered if it was.
We can hear it fine, and just so you guys know how this normally goes, this is the reaction video. So I am going to play it, and when I hear things that stick out to me, I'm going to talk about it. If you want to hear the entire video, 0 interruptions, go onto Zebec's space and hear the entire video without interruptions. But this is a reaction video, so we're going to give commentary on what's said here. So now that we set that expectation, let's go ahead and continue here.
Possible to maybe talk a little bit on the progress that we're making. Obviously, Zebec and the Zebec ecosystem is now starting to grow into something really powerful. And obviously, you know, you've asked me to come up today and help spotlight some of the partners who are helping Zebec push the limits of what's possible in decentralized finance, with, you know, when it comes to infrastructure and communication, all those different things. Maybe, you know, just a quick progress update, recent launches, updates, ecosystem milestones.
Well, as our community knows, it's been a very exciting and action-packed here at Zebec Network. We now support 16 different blockchains, soon to be 17 with the integration of Boba Network, which we're going to learn more about on today's spaces. And within the past quarter alone, we've added 4 new as support by Zebec. And this really speaks to the scalability of our technology. For other platforms to add new blockchains, it can take months. Zebec has always been a multi-chain solution from the start, and our tech architecture really speaks to these ambitions, and you can now see it with the level of partners that we are bringing on a weekly basis.
So with Boba, 17 chains that they support. And by the way, if you guys are not privy, they got the SOC 2 compliance. As Simon told us before, certain companies won't even talk to you until you have the SOC 2. Well, now they're SOC 2 compliant. Happened September 1st, 2025. So one could look at that and say it was 9/1/2025. So, you know, 19 keys, all of that type of stuff with the 1 and the 9, the alpha and omega. You know, I kind of like symbolism like that, but very apt date, 9/1, to have that compliance. And yeah, it's something that they needed and something that separates them from any type of other payment people. I know Metallicus has this SOC 2 compliance too. I'm pretty sure they do too. So, you know, you guys, if you've been around for a little bit, you know I talk about Metallicus and their ecosystem. I'll also talk about Zebec and their ecosystem. Both very, very bright futures in my opinion. But yeah, very nice that they have the SOC 2 compliance now, and nice that they have another network in Boba on board.
Absolutely, and I think that is that's really, really clear, and maybe kind of, I guess, led to the discussion that we were going to have today. I wonder if you wanted to just give a little bit of context about that before we can then bring our guests up and I can introduce them and we can learn a bit more about what they're doing.
Well, today's space is not just about Zebec. We're here to highlight 4 of our newest partners, each of which has their own blockchain that is now fully integrated in Zebec Network. Our thread today will be about decentralization, not just being a buzzword. We're going to talk about how it's shaping real-world products that are faster, cheaper, and more accessible. I'm really excited to be joined today by our guests and to hear about what they're building and, of course, why they chose to work with us here at Zebec.
Awesome. Love that. Okay, so we have the team from Zano. We have Danny from XDB chain. We have Tarek up from Octa. And we also have Chinerjiv, and I apologize if I've mispronounced that. And maybe if we can just take all 4 of you and learn a little bit more about what you're up to, what you're building, and like Simon says, it'd be great to understand more about that. The reason why you chose to partner with the team at Zebec. I'll ask Zano to go first because they're who I can see first.
Hey guys, yeah, thank you so much for inviting me on the stage. I'm Quinten, the head of marketing and growth at the Zano project. To give you guys a quick rundown about what Zano is. Zano is a privacy by default layer 1 blockchain. So it doesn't only support Zano, you actually can create your own assets, your own tokens on top of Zano, and the tokens are as private as Zano itself, so you don't see amounts, you don't see addresses involved, you don't even see the asset types transacted, because financial privacy is super, super important, of course, especially in
So their privacy networks around, the Moneros, the Zcaches, and things like that. We'll have to do some looking at Zano and see what they provide. Um, Maybe there's obviously something that Zebec decided to partner with those guys. I have to be true again. This is just a reaction. I don't know much about Zano at the moment, but I can see there that they have their gold check mark. And I'm definitely going to have to be doing some more boning up on Zano in the future. And, probably after this Spaces is over, we can do a little bit of looking at these companies, just a little perusal to see, okay, can we find some investors? What's the tokenomics kind of look like with these things? What are they trying to do? But I see Zano is trying to do privacy coins and that you can make your own privacy coin on top of Zano. So this whole thing about white labeling has seemed to be very, very big. Zebec says they can white label their streaming payment platform. Metallicus says they can also do some white labeling with their payments and what they do with credit unions and things like that. They offer like crypto as a service. So, white labeling seems to be a really big thing. And I can imagine, right, with some company like Zano, if you're like a business and you want a certain level of privacy, you can just use them, make your own coin, and have that level of privacy. I know sometimes people talk about privacy things and they think, well, regulation is going to go after them. Well, sometimes in these spaces, big businesses do not want you to know what they pay for certain things. They don't. So as much as we think about privacy as like somebody's trying to hide something and do something illegally, sometimes people want to hide something and that's the intention. Like, okay, well, you don't need to know what I paid for this. You don't need to know how much I paid this person's salary. You don't need to know their salary. You don't need to know like certain and that's okay. And there is a space for things that necessarily need to be private. There are not illegal. So let's continue on here.
in today's world. And yeah, we recently got integrated on Zebec because we always have a strong focus on making Zano as usable as possible. And of course, the holy grail for crypto would be direct support, like direct acceptance by merchants and e-commerce for cryptocurrencies. However, crypto adoption is still not at that stage. Of course, there's, the reality is that people still use Visa and MasterCard basically anywhere. So for us, it made sense to partner with Zebec because it's basically a very good alternative for Zano to become spendable and usable via Zebec's cards. Basically anywhere, merchants and
Did you guys hear what he said kind of
we
there?
always have a strong focus on making Zano as usable as possible. And of course, the holy grail for crypto would be direct support, like direct acceptance by merchants and e-commerce for cryptocurrencies. However, crypto adoption is still not at that stage. Of course, there's, the reality is that people still use Visa and MasterCard basically anywhere. So for us, it made sense to partner with Zebec because it's basically a very good alternative for Zano.
Well, he kind of implies that Visa and MasterCard, which we kind of already know, Zebec can offer Visa and MasterCards for their card. So anywhere you can use Visa and MasterCard, you could conceivably use Zebec. They focus more now on MasterCard than they do Visa, but we know with Solana being on Solana, they can use Visa too if they want to. So again, he makes a very good point there. And if we think Zebec is what we think it is, which it's partnered with ADP, and it has the ability to move any of the stable coins, we already know, Simon told us, that they have connectivity with RL USD, Ripple's stablecoin. We already know they have the Circle with USDC very tightly implemented in what they do. So with those two stablecoins, I mean, those are probably the biggest and the most regulated stablecoins right there. But then we also know they had Paxos on here. So they also have the stablecoin with Paxos, which is the GUSD, and Paxos are the people behind PayPal USD. So all those different kind of, if you will, white labels of the US dollar in Ripple USD, Circle USD, PayPal USD, GUSD. Did I miss anything? Maybe Pax Gold. So all those different white labels, if you will, of stablecoins, Zebec can use. Okay, and makes it very apt and very understandable and very on point, if you will, to use the slang, that Zebec is a ship. You can ship anything on those stablecoin payment rails to do anything, right? So it's very like every time I think about it be connecting all of those different stablecoins and everything you can do, and you throw ADP in the mix, it makes me very, very excited about the future here. So again, if you're a company and you see that Zebec is doing something like this, and you can get together with them right now, like before it's all like all the infrastructure is there, you're you're doing really good for yourself there, buddy. Right? So let's continue.
Not to become spendable and usable via Zebec's cards.
Yeah, absolutely love that. And thank you for being so succinct there. That's awesome. I'll take the other three through that as well. I'm reliably informed the best thing to call you is CJ from Boba. Would love to hear a bit more about what you guys are doing also and the work that you're doing with Zebec.
Sure, thank you. Pleasure to be here. My name is CJ. I'm part of the BD team here at Boba. Just to give you a quick overview, Boba Network is a layer 2 on Ethereum. We've been in the space for just about 4 years, and we've had a very strong focus on being a blockchain that's very reliable when it comes to being super fast, super cheap, very effective in terms of onboarding developers, and just bringing a very strong focus to the ecosystem of allowing really creative dApps to exist on the blockchain. We have our own native tech as well called Hybrid Compute that makes this super simple for developers to play with Web2 applications and sort of bring them back on chain. And very excited to be partnering up with the Zebec network guys, simply because we really wanted to put full focus on our token and give more utility to our community and users through the Boba token. One of the ways that you can do that is, of course, through having very strong e-commerce and payment solutions. And we're very excited to see how we can basically take this to market. Yeah, that's a little.
That's really huge what he said there. So he just said that Zebec would give Boba more utility through payment. Like, really catch what he said here, guys. Let's listen to that again.
Ability to our community to applications and sort of bring them back on chain. And very excited to be partnering up with the Zebec network guys, simply because we really wanted to put full focus on our token and give more utility to our community and users through the Boba token. One of the ways that you can do that is, of course, through having very strong e-commerce and payment solutions. And we're very excited to see how we can basically take this to market. Yeah.
Very strong e-commerce and payment solutions. Doesn't that make you really juicy? I mean, doesn't that make it really juicy? Pause. Doesn't that make it really great for the future of Zebec if he's telling you that this is going to give our token e-commerce and payment utility? Okay. And I remember covering Boba a long time ago. They were one of the first kind of ETH layer 2s out there. I know they were kind of connecting Binance at the time. I remember. Don't quote me on this because it's been years at this point. Because like you said, they've been in existence for 4 years now. At the time, it was like a connection of Binance and ETH. via a layer two. There are more connections to ETH, to Binance and ETH now, but yeah. So, but now thinking that, hey, we're here to give more utility to the Boba coin through Zebec. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a little bit about me and Boba, and I'll pass it on to the other speakers. Thank you.
Love that. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. I love how we're already getting into the value that's added by being able to give people real utility with their token. I think that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with me, CJ. Danielle from XDB. How are you doing? Talk to me a bit about what's going on at your end and the partnership with Zebec.
So thank you very much. Yeah. So quick intro about us, and straight to the Zebec partnership, which is, I think, what is really relevant to talk about today. My name is Daniele Mensi. I'm Italian. I'm the founder of XDB Chain. XDB Chain, simply speaking, is a layer one, which is building all the touch points to enable brands and, in general, B2B organization to on-ramp to the Web3. It's easy to say, it's very difficult to do because there are a one, which is building all the touch points to enable brands and, in general, B2B organization to on-ramp to the Web3. It's easy to say, it's very difficult to do because there are a lot of details,
Let me
which is
one more time.
building all the touch points to enable brands and, in general, B2B organization to on-ramp to the Web3.
So they're trying to help brands and businesses just directly on ramp into Web3. Interesting. Now, shout out to DCENT Wallet. We told Mr. Kim that we need some support for XDB on the DCENT Wallet. So I'm already working on that. I know this is something my guy, shout out to Maximus Crypto, has brought up before, XDB. We brought it up before because they're a silver card holder of Zebec. So yeah, so stay tuned. We may be able to buy this pretty soon on the DCENT Wallet. Shout out to Mr. Kim if he can get that done. But let's stay tuned for that, and let's continue on here.
It's easy to say, it's very difficult to do because there are a lot of details in how things are being done, compliance, technical stuff, and so on and so forth. But in essence, being a layer one requires a lot of flexibility to adapt to the real world. So now we are building all these adaptation layers, like dApps, like security infrastructures, like marketing packages to enable normal business to enter to the Web3, because we don't want them, to involve in the Web3 by being, kind of a Bitcoin treasury company. That's a passive involvement in the Web3. We want them to be actively engaged to build on the Web3, and we would like XDB chain to be the layer one of choice. Over the last weeks, we have been involved very much to build a layer two on top of our layer one, being EVM compatible, because XDB chain is not an EVM blockchain, it's a fork of Stellar. And we have been inspired by this, with this hybrid approach, by a very confidential project with a major organization, which has not been publicly disclosed, where we have been building a kind of a private blockchain for them with the.
Okay, so he gave us some news here where he's building a private block. They're building, I should say, a private blockchain for an organization that hasn't been disclosed. Of course, we have to kind of temper ourselves a little bit here because, of course, he's the CEO of his company. Is he giving us really valid information, or is he throwing something out there to try to get you to buy his coin? And it might not be true. I don't know. I'm not accusing this man of lying, but we do have to kind of, know that the source is the guy, the CEO, right? But assuming he's telling the truth, right? Could be something interesting to think about as far as the future of XDB. Okay. Um, and as I've told you guys before on here, and I think Max has covered too, they're a fork of Stellar, but they're looking to do a layer two to kind of build on top of that to get the whole EVM compatibility. So it's interesting. I'm wondering who they're doing this private thing for. Could it be Ripple? Could it be someone else? Who knows? Let's go back a little bit and play again.
The chain to be the layer one of choice. Over the last weeks, we have been involved very much to build a layer two on top of our layer one, being EVM compatible, because XDB chain is not an EVM blockchain, it's a fork of Stellar. And we have been inspired by this, with this hybrid approach, by a very confidential project with a major organization, which has not been publicly disclosed, where we have been building a kind of a private blockchain for them with the goal to become a public blockchain, because they didn't want to start a project in a public fashion. And we have been inspired by this approach by building this layer two EVM compatible on top of our layer one. And so it's so exciting right now to really bring all these enhancements from the Web 2 or from the, I would say, the B2B world, the LinkedIn world, as I call it, to the real world, which is for us the Web 3. And
Okay, so assuming to if we want to go the way that you know, Zebec is obviously going to bring something to these guys. We know with being the arm ramp, being payment and e-commerce. The question is, okay, well, these guys are probably going to bring something to Zebec, right? So we have to kind of a little bit assume if he's telling the truth, right? And let's just say he is, then Zebec also liked what he was saying, and Zebec might also like the partner in which he's partnered with, right? So very, very interesting there.
And I'm very much excited about this partnership because, since the first talks with Simon, we feel very engaged with the vision of Zebec to grow further and to expand by studying from real world application and real world use cases. We've been impressed since the beginning because we were scouting in the Solana ecosystem which project has real world value. And among our research, we've seen Zebec being, to me, on the top of the spot. And being inspired by this vision, getting into the details, and now really progressing and advancing this partnership, starting from the off-ramp that we already launched with Zebec, and working with other cool stuff, because we feel very much in sync all together. So thank you very much for hosting us and our community at XDB Chain.
I'm a little concerned when he says he was scouting which projects in Solana have real world value. So that makes me wonder, okay, do a lot of projects on Solana not have real world value? When he puts it like that, like I was looking for all the real world value ones on Solana. So that's interesting there. But then also piggyback on that information, it seems like, and this is just from what I gathered from the spaces, and this is not Solana FUD. This is just me implying educated guessing from what I heard, right? It seems like Zebec went with Algorand because Algorand had some enhanced technology they could use to do things better with payment that Solana didn't have. Now, it very much seems like Solana has its place. They very much seem tight in with Visa. But now when someone says this, right, it makes me question the validity of other Solana projects. Not Zebec, but when he says it like that, it makes me question the validity of other ones. So just, and also with that Algorand news from Zebec too, it makes me a little bit wondering about Solana projects. So let's continue.
Love that. Thank you so much. It's a great introduction and really, really interesting, and great, and good luck too with the L2 work. It sounds fascinating, and I'm certain it'll be a great success for you guys. Tarek,
Thank you.
from Octa, how's it going, Tarek? Hey, Tarek. I can't hear you, Tarek. Sorry, dude. Are you able to mute and come off mute again? See if that works. Okay. Best thing probably to do is to drop down as a speaker, maybe close the app and open it again, and come up, and we can introduce you in a few moments. But yeah, if you perhaps drop down and come back on, then that might help things. Okay, well, look, I'm going to move us on. Really, really exciting. Great to have four, incredible projects up on stage talking with us. I don't want to waste that opportunity, and I feel like I want to kind of get into the source a little bit more and ask some kind of leading questions a little bit about what you guys are building and how it's going to, really change things moving forward. So my next question for each of you, and I'm happy for you to answer in the same order, is, and is Tarek going to be able to talk first, though? Tarek, I can't hear you. Is that just me? Simon, can you?
Is normal.
Yeah,
Whoops,
nice to see you.
sorry.
Details in how Zebec being to me on the top of
Order is, and is Tarek going to be able to talk first, though? Tarek, I can't hear you. Is that just me? Simon, can you hear
cannot,
Tarek speaking?
unfortunately. So maybe check your microphone, restart the app. But Ben, in the interest of time, let's move to the next section.
Absolutely. So, question, and I'll go with Zano, CJ, and then Daniela. How will your technology shape how people earn, spend, and interact with money in the next 3 years? I'd love to get the points from all three of you. So, Zano, go first.
So just when we have empty spaces, I'm gonna speed a little bit past them. So just so you know, FYI.
Well, that would be the very strong privacy features of Zano in combination with the versatility that our blockchain has to offer, right? So I think it's privacy is a topic that I think it's like undervalued, to be honest, in the crypto space. People are scared that privacy projects don't get the attention attention they deserve because of regulations, and governments don't like them, and delistings and so forth. But if we look at from a user perspective, what is necessary for mass adoption for crypto to happen, then the missing piece is absolutely privacy. Because imagine if you're using any blockchain for payments directly, and then you do a payment, and the cashier can immediately see your balance, your transaction history, what tokens you have.
Now, privacy is an important point for payment. He's completely right. Check out the interview I had on my channel with CEO of Dragon Chain. One of the things that he mentions is, hey, our chain could be hybrid. It's a hybrid chain. So in saying that, he recognizes that there's a need sometimes for privacy, and there's a need sometimes for public stuff. Sometimes you want to know what something is getting paid. Sometimes it's not your business what something is getting paid. And this is nothing nefarious, but this is actually what's needed sometimes, okay? Right? Like, if I'm a business and I hired this one guy and I hired another guy, and for whatever reason, one guy took a way less salary than the other guy, I don't want those two knowing that. And I guess that's my right as a business to have that, right? So, and that has nothing to do with anything nefarious, right?
That's a huge security risk, right? So yeah, and with Zano, none of that happens. With Zano, you're completely shielded whilst still having all kinds of programmability features and the versatility that some of the other transparent blockchains offer. So on Zano, you can build all kinds of dApps and confidential assets, and also Freedom Dollar. I just want to put that out there, which is a privacy stablecoin built on Zano, is also soon coming to Zebec. So that will be
That'll be our very first token within your ecosystem that's coming, and it's very fitting to be working with a stablecoin, because in our eyes at Zebec, one of the really interesting aspects of working with a blockchain like Zano is that on the payroll side, there are obviously questions around your
and confidential assets, and also Freedom Dollar. I just want to put that out there, which is a privacy stablecoin built on Zano, is also soon coming to Zebec. So that will be
that'll be our very first token within your ecosystem that's coming, and it's very fitting to be working.
So they have a privacy stablecoin, and they're bringing that to Zebec. Now it makes a lot of sense. Let's continue and hear this.
Working with a stable coin, because in our eyes at Zebec, one of the really interesting aspects of working with a blockchain like Zano is that on the payroll side, there are obviously questions around what data can be seen on chain regarding an employee's payroll. And we definitely have heard from some organizations that would prefer to work with private chains. So we are past the card stage now, exploring a payroll build on the blockchain of Zano, which would be really interesting for certain verticals.
That's extremely interesting, and that's awesome. And again, I didn't I didn't hear this. That goes right into what I said at the beginning of the show. We know that Zebec works with all these different stable coins, so they're the on ramp and they're the conduit, the gateway, the ship, all of those connecting words, the chain, the bridge to all of these different things through these stable coins, right? So now add on to USDC, RLUSD, PayPal USD, GUSD, and I might have missed another one there. Binance USD, BUSD, all these things that Paxos does too. Now add Freedom Dollar onto that as another stable coin that Zebec can support, and now in a privacy way.
Absolutely, it should be incredibly useful for any Zebec card user, because instead of now, for example, you top it up with USDT or USDC, because stable coins are still used most today for payments in crypto. But you put yourself at risk. People can actually track all your transactions, and it even gets worse. Tether can actually blacklist or freeze certain wallets and your funds, which is horrible. It's not much better than a CBDC. Actually, it's just programmable money. And with Zano and the Freedom Dollar built on top of Zano, it's actually completely censorship resistant. You can't even see wallet addresses and amounts, let alone freeze them. It's the reserves are provable, and the asset is over collateralized, and it's entirely private by default. So it has Monero level privacy, but with the stability of any other stablecoin that you're used to.
Fantastic. Ben, I think
Yeah, awesome.
Tarek is back on. Let's see if his mic
That's interesting. Based off that, I definitely want to look into Zano. That's really, really interesting.
is working.
Hey, Tarek.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can. Welcome. Okay, let's rattle through, because I don't want to. So why don't you very quickly introduce yourself and Octa and what's going on at that end?
I'll do a quick crash course. Yeah, thank you for inviting me to this. And again, apologies for the technical issues. For those who don't know, Octaspace is a decentralized compute provider. So with specific owners that people provide idle compute resources across the world to our platform. We've built an extensive set of technology and services, which are currently generating revenue. We have over 11,000 registered users on our platform at the moment. And a lot of that is focused on providing decentralized compute. So from AI to even remote gaming. We also have our own rendering platform, which is being used by artists and visual effects studios. There's around 3.5 million frames focused on providing decentralized compute. So from AI to even remote gaming. We also have our own rendering platform, which is being used by artists and visual effects studios. There's around 3.5 million frames rendered in total last time I looked.
Interesting. A lot of things are coming to this space as far as like with decentralized compute. There are a few different companies that do that. I think what is it? Akash might do that. Of course, Render does that. There's some interesting companies that are in this space as far as like offering compute power, like either GPU or for AI or what have you, right? And that's interesting. That's really interesting. That's really interesting.
For just our rendering platform, and that's just one of our products. But as I say, we've launched some of the most revolutionary tech in the market. We're as far as I know, there's currently no one like us in either Web 2 or Web 3 that does everything we do in one place. We partner with Zebec as well, which is really, really great. We kind of looked into opportunities of how to increase the utility of Octa, since Octa is obviously the primary payment instrument in our environment. And we thought, okay, Zebec is amazing. We loved what you guys were doing. And obviously, we can now add an additional layer of utility to Octa, where users can spend as well as earn Octa as well. So for those who provide idle compute resources. So I hope that kind of does that cover it?
That was great,
Okay.
Tarek, honestly, and I think
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. Great,
Yeah.
great run through. Thanks for being so succinct. If you want, you can actually scroll, like move on to the next question immediately, and then I'll move on to the other guys while we've got you. So
I didn't hear the next question. So
let me tell it to you. So how will your technology shape how people earn, spend, and interact with money in the next 3 years?
Oh, great question. Well, obviously, in relation to, well, as I mentioned, what the services that we provide are focused on AI and various other, areas. So we even have VPN rendering and so on. And obviously, I think we've been building something so unique in the way to attract users to use, and we've been. I'm going to be direct encroaching a lot on Web 2 and Web 3, certain Web 3 competitors, and taking a big market share. I think it's important to note, let's realistically, Web 3 has struggled in certain aspects of adoption from payments. And I think now that people are providing real services, especially, for example, in the case of Octa, they are more focused and willing to explore opportunities where they can spend money in Web 3. And it's something I think over many years we've worked to kind of really breach that barrier, because obviously everyone looked at Web3 initially as just an investment area. Now and this is the case with with what Zebec are doing as well, right? Because you guys are bridging that gap as well. And I know I'm looking at the payroll stuff that you guys are doing as well. And that's really cool. And we love what you guys are doing there. And it's the same with us, right? We've built something that people really will use, not just users, but also businesses, etc. So I think in the next kind of web, in the next 3 years, I mean, we've seen growth in the last 2 years. And I think I can't imagine what the growth is going to be like in the next 3 years. It's going to be amazing.
Exactly. And here on the Zebec side, I would echo the
I think it's worth it to listen to him again. Like, no, we're not gonna do it now, but I'll continue going. He was trying to be so careful with his words. He was trying to be so careful with his words. He definitely wanted to say more, but really kind of stopped short of saying what he wanted to say. So I'm almost curious to go back. We won't do it now because this will make the video way too long. But to see if something slipped, because his was the least rehearsed of everyone, and sometimes when you're not rehearsed, you say some things that you're not supposed to say. So very interesting from him as far as like the Web3 space, and just as an investment vehicle. Like, we do know now that Web3, as far as where it's heading, with blockchain and things like that, it's way more than an investment vehicle. This is where it's happening. Bank the unbanked, reduce fees, all that. And we're right here at the forefront. We're the early adopters, while everybody else is going to be focused on God knows what. And while even that subset of people that are in our area are going to be focused on like God knows whatever else anyway. We're focusing on the things that are really trying to really make a utility difference here, and other things as well. So let's continue.
those sentiments and say that Zebec has been typically a user of the Amazon cloud for a lot of our computing, and particularly the engines behind our Zebec AI layer. And now we've started to use the Octaspace platform. And so far on the Zebec side, I would echo those sentiments and say that Zebec has been typically a user of the Amazon cloud for a lot of our computing, and particularly the engines behind our Zebec AI layer. And now we've started to use the Octaspace platform. And so far, the feedback has been incredible. And we actually plan to move over more of the computing from Amazon Web to Octaspace in the coming months.
It's said that, and they say there are different platforms like Render, other one that the Patreon people know about. I'm not going to mention it here, but another platform that Patreon people know about, where they can offer these services cheaper than Amazon Web Services. I'm of course, like, Amazon Web Services can probably offer more bandwidth, or more, they can probably handle more than these smaller services, but the smaller services can probably offer the computing power at a cheaper rate. So of course they might not be at the level where they can handle everything from everybody. You know what I mean? Like if Zebec was fully on their platform or fully on some other platform, right? They might not be at the level they can handle all of Zebec's traffic, but they can definitely handle some and give them a reduced fee for that, right? So, moving ahead in the future, we already know that everything is way more web connected. Like, one of my friends, shout out to Brunswick, he sent me like this 2000s computer setup, right? If you guys can remember the early 2000s, late 90s, every house had like one computer, and that was it. And you were lucky to have one computer. Now we're at a time where, the house might have, 2 laptops, a tablet, 3 smartphones, a smartwatch, 2 smartwatches, you know what I mean? So everything almost in the house is connected, including the TV, the Alexa. So, you know what I mean? So again, compute power is something that's probably going to be more and more of a necessity as these networks get very, 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 very bloated with all these different devices. And we know Internet of Things basically wants to put internet on everything, pretty much, right? And that's where we're headed, and that's where we're almost at, right? Case in point, our watches. Case in point, our phones. What's next? Our fridge tells it, like, you know what I mean? Like, like you could put Internet of Things on so many things. Like imagine like Internet of Things on like a pop machine. Like, okay, the moment it's out, like there's just so many things. There's so many use cases for it, right? Let's continue.
Love that. Great stuff. Great to see the partnership, going even deeper. Okay, I'm going to ask the same question then to CJ. How will your technology shape how people earn, spend, and interact with money in the next 3 years?
Yeah, I'll keep it short, just with the essence of time.
Okay, the volume of the AMA is low. Let me see what I can do about that. Yeah, that's there's nothing I can do about that on my end. I don't, unfortunately. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. I'm sorry.
But I think after a certain point, all of these technologies are pretty similar, right? Bearing some differences here and there. But it's all about, for us in particular, the partnerships you forge and the type of service providers and distributors you work with. So having more partnerships like Zebec Network will allow us to have a much wider merchant ecosystem, therefore allowing payments to be much more easily facilitated. We also have some upcoming partnerships with some other dApps that have just deployed with us, who have APIs with Amazon and other marketplaces, in which the Boba token can easily be used to purchase anything through these marketplaces. And having Zebec with us now as well, we would love to see how we can make you guys collaborate with these partnerships, and anyone who has like a Zebec card topped up with some Boba. Here are the different marketplaces, and here are the different online platforms. You can go and use that and procure some services and products. So I think it's going to be a combination of having the right ecosystem, having the right partnerships, and just forging those right relationships to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position where your token, where your blockchain technology is really providing as much value as possible when it comes towards the payment sector. Yeah, so I think we're truly excited to see where this goes, and we'd love to also see how we can get more involved with you and tap into those other verticals within the payment distribution space.
So right there, he's telling us that Zebec has multiple verticals within the payment distribution space, and we've already told you that. We've been over that like many times here. Like they can hit retirement through ADP, they can hit payday loans, which they told us about, possibly even sports gambling, which they have to give us that announcement with the NBA and Uphold. They can hit like more long-term loans, like from your 401k. It's just endless possibilities. Housing loan, car loan, through your 401k or your payroll. There's a lot of avenues that they can hit there. But of course, we know lending is probably going to be a very, very big one, especially looking at how things have been inflating with the dollar here, like for the last, since Nixon took us off the gold standard. So like most people living today know nothing but inflation. But when you look at these cryptocurrencies and the liquidity in these and how they just keep going up, things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, things like that, it seems like we're the first movers, and we're going to really reap the benefits of these assets, which are ascending, unlike the dollar, which is descending. The dollar still seems like it's going to be a gateway or a bridge, a la the stable coins that Zebec supports, but its overall value is continuing to fall.
Love that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you being succinct with that too. Daniela, how's it going, dude?
Yeah, well, good. So I think
Same question to you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Trying to remember. So yeah, I think it's all about deploying new use cases, obviously, which provide real world benefit to the end users with a seamless user experience or seamless UX. This is all about, in essence, what we're doing and what we are going to do over the next years. And we have been very much inspired by football clubs. Football clubs, Manchester United, I don't know which football clubs you guys are supporting, but football clubs have an amazing audience. They are worldwide known by anyone, possibly. But when it comes down to expand the footprints of their business model, which is mostly about football and TV rights, and also in minor part merchandising, by anyone, possibly, to the end users with a seamless user experience or seamless UX. This is all about, in essence, what we're doing and what we are going to do over the next years. And we have been very much inspired by football clubs. Football clubs,
Football clubs. At first, I didn't understand what he was saying. Football clubs. Now, does he mean soccer? Because does he mean American football or does he mean soccer? Either way, it's very, very awesome.
Manchester United, I don't know which
Okay, Manchester. So you mean soccer?
football clubs you guys are supporting, but football clubs have an amazing audience. They are.
He said they support Manchester United. I don't know if that's been an announcement or if we just got something that slipped. But he says they support Manchester United.
Years. And we have been very much inspired by football clubs. Football clubs, Manchester United, I don't know which football clubs you guys are supporting, but football clubs.
Okay, see, he said, I don't know which ones you're supporting.
Have a.
But maybe they're supporting one because it sounds like it from what he said.
amazing audience. You know, they are worldwide known by anyone, possibly. But when it comes down to expand the footprints of their business model, which is mostly about football and TV rights, and also in minor part merchandising, uh, they're very struggling to advance to become more tech fashion business because they have a potential, they have huge communities. So being a layer one, as we are, has been inspired by this because our community are the fans of the Manchester United. And our community are the heroes and the champion of our technology. But the average consumer doesn't have the understanding on how these things work. And we don't plan to spend trillions or quadrillions. Joking.
So interesting. We know that they have an announcement coming up with the NBA and the NHL, but he just described sports clubs almost like a meme point, right? Which is interesting when you think about it that way, because they do have built-in communities. Like you guys. I don't know if you guys know it, but I'm a sports fan. You know what I mean? I am a sports fan. I like anything Detroit because I'm from Detroit, right? And what a diehard community that sports fans can be. And you think about it, and you take it to even universities where, like, okay, U of M, Michigan State. I'm a Michigan State grad. You know, Sparty. You know what I mean? Like you have these built-in communities with built-in loyalties that you can immediately tap into if you have the right, let's say, catalyst, right? Um, Tom Izzo today was to come out with some Zebec something. You better believe Michigan State people will go out and support it. If Braylon Edwards or Jalen Rose or you know what I mean, like somebody of that ilk from Michigan, Tom Brady, right, comes out and says something about Zebec, you better believe Michigan people are going to go out. Michigan, University of Michigan people are going to go out and support it. You better believe that. So this is what he's talking about. And this is very interesting, and that puts a whole new color on that, if you will, color, or it puts a whole new spice level on that NBA announcement to me. In that they have the possibility with the NBA and the NHL to immediately inject active communities that would support anything their team wants immediately. So when we look at it like that, that's pretty freaking powerful. Wouldn't you say so? Let's continue.
In marketing to explain to the average consumer why our blockchain is better of all the other thousands in the place. So it's reversing this model, bringing real world benefit with very usable use case, seamlessly implemented. And this is Zebec instrumental in our journey because what if we have
And like he said there too, right? Like I don't have time with marketing to explain to someone, how blockchain works. But again, if Tom Brady just comes up and says, get paid 24 hours or streaming payment, like just something simple like that, because we live in a TikTok world. You literally only have about 3 seconds or people are already just streaming payments. Get it now, Zebec. Like crazy. People don't even need to know about blockchain. All they know is their payment and streaming. That's all they need. So, and then Tom Brady said it, right? That's even more genius than I originally considered with the whole NBA and NHL like announcement. If they can have someone like that with that type of like gravitas, shout out to Max and his thumbnail. How Zebec can become the next FanDuel. He had Jordan and Gretzky on there, right? Imagine if Jordan, or imagine if Gretzky, or like Tom Brady said something about streaming payment. So many people would be interested in wanting to grab it. And then things like sports, as far as like sports, they have the rivalries and all of that, but people are more apt to be like, okay, well, Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, they cross over rivalries. So, this is not a political show and we're not talking about politics, but I'm sure they're both Republicans and Democrats and independents and liberals and libertarians that love Tom Brady. Tom Brady goes over all of those, you know what I mean? All of those different genres. Michael Jordan goes through all of those different genres. So, very interesting move, and even makes me even more excited about that move from Zebec.
I've been building with them within the Zebec card program has been one of the first milestones into this journey. So it's all about providing a seamless user experience to enable a very new, exciting use case.
Love that. Thank you. And appreciate all four of those answers. They're really, really interesting. I have another question which I can hit you all with now, and it doesn't require a massive amount of thought, I don't think, and also can be quite quickly answered. So I am going to ask it before I then ask how people can get in touch and get involved with what you're building. So if you could partner with any other sector, gaming, AI, social, which one do you think would create the most impact for your business and why? Zano, go first, and then we'll go through in the same order.
Yeah, for us, it's an easy answer. It would be infrastructure, right? Like Zebec is also infrastructure, because we want Zano to become very, very usable and broadly available anywhere, because we want private payments for everyone and anywhere. So yeah, infrastructure would definitely be our answer. And if you want to come build with us, everyone's welcome. You can build on Zano. You can actually release your own asset on top of Zano as well that is private. So also all the projects here, if you want a like a wrapped asset of like a wrapped version of your existing asset on Zano, that is possible.
Now, what he said there was not sexy, right? He didn't say, "Oh, gaming," because I'm a huge, Madden NFL fan. But what he said was really on point because infrastructure is what controls everything, right? Never forget certain people who are very, very smart, like Reggie Middleton, right? Shout out to Reggie Middleton. He was on a Gentleman of Crypto. Shout out to them. Shout out to King. Shout out to Bitcoin Zay. He said, you don't want to invest in the thing, you want to invest in the infrastructure because the infrastructure is the thing that's going to control everything, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, instead of, apply that as you will. Shout out to Benzinga, which I used to do a show on. Their CEO, Jason, now I'm going to mess up his name. Jason Raznick. Shout out to Jason Raznick of Benzinga. He used to say, invest in the thing behind the thing, which is really like the same way of saying infrastructure, right? But it's simplified because you're like, okay, what that is that the thing? Let me see what's behind that, and that's what they invest in, right? And honestly, when people look at the thing, and this is honestly my argument, not against AI, but it's like, okay, everybody's focused on AI, but look behind it at the infrastructure, right? So you might have the whole shiny thing, AI, but look behind it. Look at the thing behind the thing. What's the infrastructure behind AI? And then if we're looking at cryptocurrency, what's the infrastructure behind this? Payment, payroll, specifically, right? So very, very, like, his answer wasn't sexy, but it was really, really on point. Really, really profound. Really, really right. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes the slang, I can't find another word other than that.
Is available for it. Your own asset on top of Zano as well that is private. So also all the projects here, if you want a like a wrapped asset of like a wrapped version of your existing asset on Zano, that is possible. There's also bridges available for it. So yeah.
Thank you, Tarek. How about you? Who would you partner with from in terms of another sector? Gaming, AI, social infrastructure.
Well,
Yeah, go for it.
Well, obviously, I mentioned in our space where we're providing idle compute power, right, which can run various kind of jobs. So obviously, AI and machine learning is pretty much the biggest, most impactful area. I think that would really be kind of boost there. I think providing affordable computation, right? At the moment, I think I don't want to go into the depths of how centralized providers currently, run massive controls and restrictions and things like that can be run. But we, in a truly decentralized world, opening up to AI is one of the biggest and key areas that idle compute power can contribute. And obviously, we're looking at things like currently, for example, integration with Zebec AI. And Zebec's also going to be looking at using Octaspace compute power as one of the engines it's growing, for the Zebec product layer. So there's
And there we go, right there, right? Like, what are some of the things behind AI? Well, what's the thing behind that thing? They need the computing power. It's only so much that the database or relational database can hold. They need more computing power, a cheaper computing power, not only more, but who has the best price for it. And that's where a company like Octaspace, a company like the company that we mentioned in the Patreon, company like Render. So these is where these companies will come in, right? So look out for these infrastructure plays. That is an infrastructure play. Shout out to the Patreon. We'll definitely do more talking about that company in the Patreon. The company I'm talking about that shall not be named.
That's kind of, I think, the biggest key area, and it's one of the key focuses of us is growing that AI sector.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge opportunity for growth, and yeah, completely understand. CJ, how about yourself?
Yeah, we're pretty agnostic when it comes towards which sector or vertical we want to lean in. All those, whether it's AI, whether it's gaming, whether it's infra, we have a pretty strong hand in all of them. The fact that we are L2 allows us to obviously be much more scalable, fast, cheaper, and just more accessible. But beyond that, I think we have our own native tech called hybrid compute, and this is where we really try to position ourselves as the bridge between Web 2 and Web 3, and allow all of your conventional Web 2 applications and Web 2 data to migrate more easily on the chain. And so that's pretty useful for Gen AI dApps. It's pretty useful for gaming as well, because most of the gaming computation is off chain, and just parts of it is put on chain. So if you can sort of merge that more seamlessly, it makes life a whole lot easier. So yeah, we definitely like to consider ourselves the people's chain and the people's layer 2. We've always positioned ourselves like that. So whatever the people want, whatever the developers need, we're always innovating. We're always sort of transforming ourselves and giving more utility to whatever our ecosystem's desires are.
Absolutely love that. Great answer. Daniela, if I could ask you to do the same thing, please.
Yeah, so we built a gaming kind of application on our chain directly, and of course we want to expand. But if I have to choose, and we're kind of playing here with words, I would definitely go into the AI section, because AI right now AI is very focused on infrastructure. So to me, AI and infrastructure at the moment are more or less the same, because from a product perspective, yeah, I mean LLM, LRM. So we are in the growing phase of this, but definitely Web3 is perfectly designed to.
You see what he's saying there? And he's basically saying, well, AI is only really going to go as far as the computing power. So really, it's basically the same. Is what he's, that's what that translated into for me. He's like, okay, well, your certain AI is only going to go as far as the computing power you have for it, which makes a lot of sense. Which, if you think of something like Gronk or something, an Amazon or an Google AI, they have massive amounts of computing power they can, you know, they can take a part of with Amazon, with Google, all the different servers and different things that they can afford. So, given what he said, if you don't have too much computing power, your AI is probably not going to be very effective. Which makes sense, right? Any computer or anything it's only as good as the amount of information that it has access to. So with, of course, Google or Amazon or something huge like Amazon and Google, they have access to massive amount of information, massive amount of computers, massive amount of things. So if some company is trying to start AI and they don't have access to all of that, chances are their AI won't be that effective. If you go off of what this gentleman just said, which makes a lot of sense. Your AI is only going to be as effective as the information it can pull on to say, okay, well, here's what I think is the answer, right? So there you go.
To complete with AI in preparation of the massive shift of the entire economy and the entire labor market that would definitely change the entire game plan of the world. So I would go AI as a main focus first.
Love that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, we are very, very close to being over. So the way I'm going to wrap it is literally by telling people that if they want to get in touch with any of these guys or are interested, that they should absolutely make sure they're following all the speakers up on stage and that they interact with all of their projects. Simon, I wondered if you could maybe just leave us with some final words before we close.
Well, as I said at the very beginning, Zebec stands out from the crowd from our ability to support so many diverse blockchains. We now support, with the integration of Boba Network, 17 different blockchains across our card suite. We are adding new chains on the payroll side as well, and maybe a few of these will come there in the near future as well. So for us, the future is multi-chain. We're committed to that, and we're proud to have such great partners with Zano, with Octaspace, with XDB, and of course with Boba. And please look out for future collaboration and future announcement between us and all of these great projects.
Love that. Thanks, Simon. Really appreciate you setting this one up. We should definitely get these guys back and go a little bit more in depth with each of them, because I feel like there's a lot that they could bring to the table. Thank you to all of our speakers. Really appreciate that. Simon, as ever, appreciate you taking the time to come up and co-host with me. JJ, wrap it up, my friend. I hope all's good at your end.
Awesome. No, fire spaces. Thanks everybody for joining, all of our partners, Ben for hosting, of course, and Simon for your time. Again, just keep on the lookout for new announcements, and we'll catch you on the next spaces. We got a few planned that you guys will be excited for. So see you guys on the next one, guys. Peace.
Very nice here. Let's dive into Zano a little bit. But before we do that, I would like to acknowledge three of the creators that are in the house here. Three gentlemen whose research I definitely respect. Let me go ahead and bring up my channel here so you can see these guys' channel as well. And then we'll move into looking at Zano. So if you guys come over to the channel, you'll see here we're well on our way to 8,000 subs. Loving that. And then if we scroll down here, you'll see some of my playlists here. We got Zebec playlist here. We got XPR playlist, Swift playlist, XEN, LCX, others, right? And then you mosey all the way down here and you see some of the creators that were in the house here. Shout out to Underdog Research Channel. Really nice to see bro back at it again here. Check out the latest two videos here. XRP just blew up on Mocha This is bad part 1. Shout out to Indigo Saint as well. Indigo Saint is doing these raps. He does the intro. Everybody always asks me Who did your intro? That's a fire intro. Well, if you want to hear more Indigo Saint music, definitely go over here and check out these two shows from Underdog Crypto, where he's teaming here with Indigo Saint. Fire stuff there, bro. And then let's go back here and check out our guy. Where'd it go? I'm a little bit fast on the trigger finger here, so to speak. Should Focus Digital. Definitely go check out bro here. As you can see, he has the recommended channels right up top there, which I am one. Thank you so much, brother. He just got through talking to Stock Holiday about his meme coin, the Holit token launch. So you guys might want to go check that out and see what's up with the Holit token. Also, we have Dovu here that he's talking about here, Dovu and HBAR. So and XPR. So definitely check those out. So yeah, so we got Dovu, XPR, and the Holit token from Stock Holiday there. Definitely go check those out, guys. And let's hit here our bro Crypto Crossroads show. Let me go back there because that was way too fast. So you see some other guys here, Gentlemen of Crypto, the Mooniverse, Maximus Crypto there. Of course, our guy Max, you know, my NYC, my ADA, Simon Family Investments, Benziga, One-on-One Media, Crypto Future. Shout out to Crypto Future. Me, him, and Max do an exclusive show every week. This week we had some technical difficulties and some schedule conflicts, but we'll get back at it tomorrow. So an exclusive Patreon show. And I'm loving this new logo, bro. Shout out to you, Rob Mass, Crypto Future. Snazzy new logo out here. The Ronin Experience and the Crypto Crossroads show, guys. Definitely check out the latest show, Velo Labs and BlackRock. I love it. And I love the theme, the 3-circle theme here. We got Lightlink and Ethereum and CP Group, XRP, Gemini, and Ripple, Sandbox, Mocha, and Animoca Labs, Crow. So we got some very, very, very juicy stuff here. And again, if you're looking at bro subscribers, he's only started his show, his channel like 6 months ago, and he's already at 628 subscribers. Shout out to bro. Let's get him up to 1,000 right quick, guys. So definitely go over there and like and subscribe. A member of all of our communities. Crypto Crossroads show is Underdogs community, my community, Shook Focus community. Definitely, I know this guy's information is on point. Definitely go add him, like and subscribe to him if you haven't already. So, and here we go. See, already got an endorsement right here. That was a good video on Crossroads today. See, Molly Mixes is over there, so he can co-sign out here for our guy Crypto Crossroads show. So let's now get to our comments as we go and look at Zano here. Okay, Zano. Is that Zano? Oh wow, look at that. That's crazy. They chose to go with like a Bitcoin type of is this the right Zano? It didn't look like the right logo. Let's see. Let's scroll down. Oh, there's a gnat in here. Gnats drive me crazy. The little flies drive me nuts. So if sometime during the thing I see it on the table and I swat it, y'all guys, you'll know why that is. Um, do they have a description? Secure coin design for e-commerce. Okay, I think this is the right Zano. Let me just double check with the going to the website because it seems like they've changed up their logo. Yeah, they changed up their logo a little bit. So yeah, this is Zano, and they decided to have the same kind of and just so you guys can see that too. This was the logo that they used in the spaces. So we do in fact have the correct Zano. Let's see where you can buy it at. Let's look at the coin market cap because they don't always show that below on cryptorank.io. And I have it on bright instead of dark. I don't know why. So I'm not logged in for whatever reason. You can buy this MEXC. CoinX. I don't even think you can use that in the States anymore. So there's not too many places you can buy this. Okay, I might have to figure this out. See if we can get this on DCENT Wallet. I might have to call up Mr. Kim, see if we can get some traction on this guy. Very interesting for them to go with like a Bitcoin like supply. Well, on this it says max supply is 14.31 milli, and then on coin market cap or cryptorank.io says total supply is 18.4 million. Okay, so seems like there might be a discrepancy there. We'll have to figure that out, but interesting. Let's go back here and see if there are any. Let's go to their website now. Okay, we're at the website here. So hybrid proof of work, proof of stake. So this is, I guess, is mineable. Oh, it moves to the side. Huh. I don't know how I like that. Okay, there it goes. Now down. Partners. Okay, we'll have to do some more research into this guy. That's interesting. Now one last thing before I get off of here for this one. Not off the show. We're continuing with the show. One more thing before I finish here with Zano. I want to see who's following it on Twitter, as far as I know. Okay, so let's see here. A lot of Zebec guys. Shout out to these creators too. Shout out Mr. Foresight. Shout out to Black Tiger Miner over here. We're gonna try to get Black Tiger Miner on the show here. Shout out to David. Of course, shout out to Simon, and thank you for the follow, Simon. Let's see here. Mario Nafal, who's a big news guy. Swift blockchain, of course, because they follow everybody. I think Swift is really big for Zebec, like low key. People don't know, but I think Swift blockchain is a really big piece of Zebec. Let's continue here. Eric Voorhees and CEO of Dragon Chain. Very interesting there with these last couple. Okay. Okay, interesting. Interesting. So, and shout out to Joe Dragon also for the follow here. We got to get Joe Dragon back on the show, man. That was like that show didn't do really good views. But you guys are missing out if you didn't check that Dragon Chain show out. He addresses the SEC and how the SEC attacked Dragon Chain and everything. So you guys definitely need to check out that show if you haven't already. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get to some of the comments here. What's up, Yazid? What's up, Dreamer? David Barron. What's up, Salamander from Texas here? What's up, Lee? Nerd Up Inc. Marv, long time watcher. Salamander Phantom Beat, another long time watcher. Will be the event to trigger the bull run? It could be Trump signing the zero capital gains tax for American cryptos. That could be one thing. Another thing could be XRP ETFs. There could be a whole slew of things that are still to come. It could also be the Clarity Act, and the Clarity Act being signed for real, like this time, like by Donald Trump, not just by the House. The Clarity Act has yet to go into play. I know they kept saying once the Genius Act was signed, people were rumoring, oh yeah, the Clarity Act was signed too, it's done too, it's passed too, and they were wrong. It didn't get passed, like completely. It just got passed through the House, and people will just don't even check anything, and they'll just post it up on Twitter, and like you got to go. It's unfortunate, but yeah, Clarity Act hasn't been passed yet. Fair winds ahead. Jason Hogan, what's up? And by the way, we have a lunar eclipse coming on the 7th. Okay. Generally, the whole energy, if you will, of something like an eclipse. So it's going to be an eclipse and it's going to be a full moon. Might come into play as early as tomorrow, because that's 3 days before the 7th. And astrology wise, you could say that September is actually the 7th month. And you would know this because sept is like a 7 and oct is like an 8. The next month after September is October. And after October is November, Novum, Nieve, Nueve, or Spanish 9. So that is the same, like that suffix. Novum is 9. So the reason why it's shifted like that is because of astrology. March, actually, astrology wise, Aries wise, is the first astrological sign. So actually, March is technically the beginning of the year, even though the Gregorian calendar shifts it a little bit, right? So if you think of March as the first month and you count all the way down, September is actually the 7th month. So come the 7th, it will be a 7 with pretend that 9 is a 7 because it's shifted. 7, and then with 25, 2 plus 5 is 7. So it could be a jackpot day. And remember David Schwartz, how he always hits us with these riddles. He just randomly posted jackpot one day, and everybody was wondering when that date was going to be. And different type of coins like Stronghold have done things where they've moved on, like Stronghold moved on 7/21/25. Go look that up. You will see the stronghold went really hard on that date. Pause. No diddy. Could it move again very sharply on 9/7/25? Something to pay attention to. Remember, I told you. What's up, Dreamer? What's up, Jason Hogan? What's up, Gerald Draper? I married my Zebec bag, and we're gonna stake that bad boy. Let's go. Love it. What's up, Joey? Root Crew all day. Phantom Beat started staking to the back. 14 was too good to say no. 100%. I remember a lot of times, guys, what you're staking right now in the future is just gonna be so juicy. Like, imagine the people that staked H bar when it was first out and it was like, what, sub penny or like 2 cents or whatever. And now they have like 26-cent H bar or 30-cent H bar. Crazy, bro. Crazy, bro. Same thing with Ethereum now, since you can stake it, and that's the only way you can kind of create Ethereum, since you can't mine it anymore. Just so many things. You want to really take advantage of the staking while it's at a low point. Like XPR, for instance. Those XPR and loan things, juicy. Jack Thompson can tell you that. Juicy. And now, since everybody's over there, it's not as big. My brother hit 2 million Zebec. Holy heck. Batman. Holy strawberries, Batman. We're in a jam. That's one of my favorite corny Batman jokes. Hey, Ru, how high do you see XDB going this cycle? Which exchange can U.S. customers buy it at? And see, that's the thing. I don't know which exchange we can buy it at. I tried doing it on their wallet, and it didn't seem to work for me. Max said you used to be able to buy it on Lobster Wallet. You can't anymore. So I just really don't know. Hopefully Decent Wallet can come through for us and make it swappable on there. And I'll be sure to kind of clip this and send it to Mr. Kim, because it seems like people really want to buy it, but we can't buy it. And think about different coins that they've made like this, where it's really, really hard to buy, right? And what they've done as far as price is concerned. Remember Stronghold? How Stronghold was just low, and then it wasn't. We could see something very similar right now with XDB. So apparently on Gate.io, apparently you can use that again in America. I heard. I'm not so sure if you can or cannot, but might want to check out Gate.io. That might be a solution. Other than that, we might have to wait until hopefully Decent Wallet lists it, but you might be able to use Gate.io in America again. So check that out. That would be what I'd suggest there. Where can I go to stake ZBCN? Can I use Tangent Wallet? No. You have to go to their site, which I have, and I'll pull up for you, and I'll put it in the chat. Don't go to any other site but this one. I'll put it in the chat there. For Obina. Shout out again to the Underdog Research Channel. Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate you. Do you think Zebec will go higher than 10 cents this cycle in light of its SOC 2 compliance? Man, I don't even know anymore. The way that Like 5 cents, I think it's definitely going to hit 5 cents. So, but with the NBA and what we heard today, as far as the NBA, like that intrigues me a lot. So, again, I think it will go beyond 5 cents now. I'm pretty confident about that round now. When I think about how they can tap into the NBA market, and if they also have the soccer market over there in the UK, which it seems like they have. That's what the guy was talking about. CJ, I think his name was. He just kept saying that they have the soccer market. This thing might go bananas, man. And I'm very intrigued. Excuse me, with the ready-made markets and communities that they can tap into just by having someone like a Tom Brady or like the Tom Brady of soccer. I don't know, Lionel Messi or uh, Ronaldo or something like that. I'm not really a soccer fan like that. I don't know, but if they can have somebody like that advertise for them, it could be bananas. And I know people would want streaming payment immediately. So honestly, they would just need to be able to handle the volume of people that would ask for it. But again, for things like that to happen, clarity probably needs to be in place. So we probably don't see anything really happening with that until the Clarity Act is in place. Right now, we do have the lending from Genius Act, but again, we would probably need clarity in place before we get the capital gains tax reduction for American cryptos and all of that. So again, I think people said the clarity would be in place before the end of the year. And I think once it's in place, probably 1 to 3 months until everything really kind of goes through the pipe for that, so to speak. Pause. No diddy. Because I was reading somewhere. Let me see if I can pull that up for you guys. Okay, let me see. Okay, here it is. Here it is. So I asked Grok. Basically, what did I ask? Crypto law set to pass in early 2026. And I thought this was an interesting response it gave me back as far as laws kind of moving through their whole thing. So right here where it says implementation of the Genius Act. While the Genius Act is already law, its regulatory framework will begin taking effect early 2026 around January 2027 at the latest, or 120 days after final regulations are issued. So so that's like it. So it might take place in 120 days or wait until 2027. But thanks AI. But what this says to me, if it is early 2026, what Smoke said about the 4-year cycle being over, it's over. It is over. And we could probably expect early 2026 probably to be kind of the next leg up for these coins. So imagine the people that are right now are already frustrated with XRP, even though it's up 11x from when Trump got in office, right? When he before he was in office, it was like at 30 cents. Now it's been fluctuating between $3 and like $2.80. So imagine the XRP ETFs go into effect in October, then early 2020. So that's one leg up, and then early 2026, maybe January is another one, and then February is another one. We could be looking at $12 XRP, $30 XRP, $100 XRP, but people have to be patient enough to wait till early 2026, which is crazy to think about, right? In that, like, people will invest in mutual funds and 401ks and know that they need to wait 20 to 25 years. But with crypto, a year and a half is way too long for them. Go figure. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But yeah, to answer that question, I think it has the ability to get to 10 cents. If all of this marketing that we're hearing about, if even a percentage of it is effective, yeah, they definitely have the ability to get to 10 cents. XDB on Uniswap. Oh, is it on Uniswap? Okay. Apparently it's on Uniswap, but I will try to get it from the exchange. And I will try to see if I'm really trying to see and push with Mr. Kim to get this on DCENT Wallet. Especially since all the communities, Rob Mass's community, my community, Max's community, we want this. And DCENT Wallet supports all three of us. I really think they can make that happen for us for sure. What's up, J Share 2.0? Rue, what up, though, family? Another Detroiter in the house. Joey giving respects to underdogs. Yeah, Underdog is an awesome channel. Yeah, definitely a stellar channel out here. And Underdog knows I very much respect him and his research out here. Putting in a huge check mark on the connection with security coins. This is the next bull run. Privacy and security in financial systems. Ooh, interesting. When Underdog says something, I definitely put an ear out. Just a thank you here among the people and happy to be present. Thanks, Underdog, for your perspectives and research is amazing and appreciated. There we go. Yeah, I had to catch myself on that juicy comment, bro. I was like, wait, whoa, whoa, we went a little bit too far with that one, but I pulled it right back at the end, bro. I went almost too far, but I came back, bro. I came back. There we go. What's up, Kid Graybo? Peace. Phantom B in the room. Legend 100%. It was actually 919. I'm not sure. I missed that one, Molly Mixer. What up, Rue? What's up, Benjamin Awaken? Hope all is well. How do we buy XDB? Yep. So we got to figure that out. Did you ever check out Selfkey? I did not, but hey, I can write it down here, and we got some more things that we need to check out and present to patrons and things like that. So. Thank you, Creative Control, for reposting the stream. Definitely check out Creative Control, guys, too, if you guys haven't already. One of the best researchers out here on ZBCN. Let me bring up his X. Definitely give him a follow, guys, if you haven't already. Then thanks for sharing the show, brother. You can see here. Sharing the Zebec stuff here. So definitely a very good follow for Zebec, guys. If you haven't already, follow, bro. Give him a follow. So Phantom Beat again. What's up, Jack Thompson in the house? Yo, Tucson in the house. Good evening, Rue and Underdog. Let's go. Back in this thing. Sorry, I'm late. No problem, brother. You here? I much appreciated. That guy with all the Bitcoin involved with Silk Road. Yep. That thing was hiding in Spain, said Zano was the next big thing when I asked. So I have a bag. we got a Zano insider that spoke to what's his name? Silk Road guy. Oh god. But there you go. I guess Zano's the next big thing. What's up, Crypto Crossroads Show? Let's go. Everybody, please hit the right like button for our guy Rue. And it's up 50 the past month, 100%. What's up, Shook Focus Digital? Let's go, bro. Break all the buttons. Let's go. What's up, E? E is our moderator in Telegram. Definitely check out our Telegram and our Patreon. What's good, fam? Bought more ZBCN this morning. Bags packed. What's good? Shook, what's a good? E, what's up, Party? Pete, DJ Karaoke, Travel Corporate Wedding Kid. Hello from Plano, Texas. Texas in the house. Yeah, we couldn't fix the volume there. Sorry, Lee. New Jersey in the house. What's up, Let's Square? Patron in the house, as well as Shook Focus, another patron in the house. As I'm also a patron for Shook Focus's channel as well. Hustle and Thrive Tribe. Let's freaking go. All in on ZBCN, mostly all in. Crossroads in the building. Let's go. What's up, Jose De La Torre? Another frequent watcher. Appreciate you, brother. What's up, Rue? Very bullish on Zano and Octo. Feels good and trustworthy and private. Good looking plays. What's up, Johnny Walker? ZBCN seems to be trading at a good price. 0.004 thoughts. Yeah, the next push up that ZBCN makes is going to be over a cent. If we look at the chart, which, you know, this is some of the stuff and things we do in the Patreon with our open mic night. Definitely come over to the Patreon if you guys haven't already. But I can give you a little taste of what happens there with charting and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm loving these Martin memes that he has here. I'm trying to do trading view. There we go. So everybody sometimes seems to ignore the 2 weeks and the month like patterns. Show me, but I don't want you to show me. Got it. I don't need that either. There we go. So it kind of faked us out like it was gonna go up. Why does it keep doing this? There we go. So if we look at the week chart, it kind of faked us out like it was about to head back up and went down here. But after that little fake out, nothing but a bull flag right here. Like, I think you can clearly see that, right, guys? Where we're clearly on the weekly bull flagging. Just bull flagging. Like, you couldn't draw a more clear triangle here. And if the whole gain that was happening with this, where it went from 0.08 all the way up to like 0.7 something. So like all in all with that was like what, a 10x? We get another 10x. We're at 5, 6 cents, right? So yeah, that's the next look with the stochastic RSI for me on the week chart. Oh, I'm not sharing it. Sorry about that. So yeah, you can get a better triangle right here. If you look at this on the week chart, kind of fake this out. But it's very much poised as far as the stochastic RSI to go bananas here. And what I was showing is from kind of here to here, that was basically like a 10x where it dipped all the way down past 0007 and it went all the way up to 007 plus. Maybe this next one here is another 10 bagger, which gets us to like, 4 to 5 cents or more, right? Out here, or more if it goes like way up here, right? So, yeah, I think that's where we're headed. What's up, Paul Andrew? Zebec is continuing to surprise us. What's up, Mark Only? With positive new, consistent updates and growing utilities, I'm totally happy to find this project early. Project looks programmed to do unthinkable numbers, 100%. Thanks, Brother Rue. No problem, Paul Andrew. Volume of Boba CEO is good. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, one of them was really low. What's up, Julian? What's up, Spin Wax Radio? Did anybody see Zebec Network Twitter posting about staking? If you're from Detroit, you must love Tim the Two-Man Taylor. He's rich in tools. He is. And I think Tim Allen recently died too. So rest in peace, Tim Allen. Those European soccer fans are nuts. 100% they are. Pickleball crypto is on the horizon. Yes, Zebec has passed 5 billion ZBCN staked. Yep, that was on the screen there for a while. What's up, Dave F? Shout out to B. Thank you. Appreciate it. Shout out to me again. Rise Above. Appreciate it. Nomad Investor. Digital Nomad Investor. Born on the east side. 7 in Gratiot. Another Detroiter up in here, man. 7 in Gratiot. I know those parts very well out here. Shout out to you, Digital Nomad Investor. Tytron. What's up, Ruel? What's up, Ty? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Raul Ali? What's up, Dollar? Hey, man, the dollar could be. But I would set my sights more towards the 5 to 10 cent mark. But who knows, man? The way it's heading, eventually I do think we do get to $1. But I think for this first bull run, 10 cents is a good marker. And I know a lot of people out there will say like you're even being way too conservative, and I may be. But again, I think this is for me. Some of my Zebec will never be like I'm never gonna touch it. I'm gonna leave it, but some of it I will take some profits on. So, Waters above crypto, the master decoder in order. How this matrix works must know. Gematria, numerology, astrology. Shout out to Waters Above Crypto. I do watch his channel. He's a really good guy. I mean, like I really like his stuff, I should say, or like I really like the information he presents. So shout out to him. Yeah, he does cover gematria and things like that as well. Yeah, so shout out to Waters Above Crypto. I like his information. Really knowledgeable guy there. What's good, sir? What's up, Light Tower, patron in the house? We appreciate all that you do for the community in the crypto space through your vids and Patreon. Ruby dropping gym after gym after gym. I appreciate it, Light Tower. Thanks for that, bro. Side note, wondering if we can purchase XDB in the States. If so, how? I'm thinking through Gate.io, but I'm really trying to get Mr. Kim of DCENT Wallet to post it on there for us. This is a good yep Crypto Crossroads show did a group video on Velo. Definitely get over there and check that out, guys, if you haven't already. These are my picks. Been in the game since 2018. Well prepared this time. Make sure you have an exit plan. Don't get greedy. Here's my picks: XLM, XDC, XPR, XRP, Loan Protocol, SHX, XCN, ZBCN, Velo, Shiba, and Mog. That's a very nice portfolio, Raul. I'll give you a star on that one, bro. It's funny, like at work they joke around with me and call me Raul, like like that's my alter ego or something like that. So nice to see you in here, Raul. It makes me chuckle when I'm reading your name a little bit, only because of how the people, my guys joke around with me at work. Like that's my alter ego, my dark alter ego is Raul. It's always love with the Rue community. There's not a better space out there, man. Appreciate you, Crypto Crossroads Show. Appreciate you, brother. Sorry I didn't get to comment. I got interrupted, but I did like the best and cheapest XDC to $1 IRS of XRP of Asia. Bye. Yep, big fan of XDC as well. I should do more shows on them, to be honest with you, Raul. I have to get some more XDC shows going. Especially if you guys want to see them, let me know if you guys would like to see more XDC shows. Molly, thank you, brother. That's a different logo though. The price looks about right. Okay, yeah, we got it. Thank you, T. Riley, again for your consistent $5 super chat. Really appreciate you, bro. Let's go. Molly Mixer, yep, 7-7. Yep, y'all know what's up. Good stuff, brother. And yes, billionaires follow astrology. That is it, 100%. The JP Morgan quote, millionaires don't follow astrology, billionaires do. That's right, 100%. And it just makes sense, right? We already know that the moon controls the tides, right? And if the moon controls the tides, right, and we're mostly water, then the moon should have an effect on us, right? If it has an effect on us, and if you look at the MiCA crypto laws, they say a crypto must be able to be defined as a person. Check that out. Look that up. If you look at the MiCA laws, they say a crypto must be able to be defined as a person. So again, if the moon phases and all of that have an effect on us, and the cryptos must be defined as person according to MiCA law, then maybe the stars have an effect on the cryptos. There you go, right? And you can see that within the charts too. Wow. And my birthday being on the 25th is also the 777. The jackpot is still being lied. There we go. What's up, Jax? Featured upcoming crypto payments events, Federal Reserve Payments Innovation Conference, Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Location streamed from Washington, D.C. Details the conference on payments. Let's start that. That's an interesting date too. On the 21st, we already know the number 3 is one of those numbers. And if you guys are like a fan of Tesla, right? Nikola Tesla, the inventor, he says, if you only knew the power of 3, 6, and 9, of course, we know those are multiples as well of each other. And, I could go really deep on that. I need to put a Patreon show out for that. But definitely check out the Patreon, in which I have Money is Sacrifice. I have a show on that with a couple of my friends that talk about and know stuff about stuff. Definitely check that video out in the Patreon. It really breaks down money. Goes all the way back to the Templars. Okay? Definitely want to check that out on the Patreon. Okay? And I should check those friends out to see if I can get them back on for a show. That'll be Patreon exclusive only, of course. But thank you for that, Jax. Appreciate you. I don't know if I've seen you around here before, Jax, but appreciate you. And you got the backwards K like what is it? Caspa. And the K is also one of those letters in which the K can be represented by the number 11. And we could go deep on the number 11. And if you actually shift over the months, like I was telling you, as far as with March being the first month, the third month, by the way, there's the three. It's the third. It's the third month in the Gregorian calendar, but it's actually first. If you look at astrology, then that makes January the 11th month. There's a god called Janus, which has two faces. Janus's number is 11. Hence, January. But we could go all day on that and the symbolisms, right? I heard about some major investment news. Channel Legacy. What's the NBA? Oh, basketball. Yep. I know we're American, but soccer is the real football. Hey. Those are fighting words around here. No. I'm just kidding. For me, there's only one football, and it's American. America. But yeah, I feel you on that. The rest of the world thinks that soccer is the real football, just like the rest of the world doesn't use the metric system, I believe. So it's like, hey, we just do it different in America. You think ZBCN will have its own NFTs one day? Yes, but its NFTs will be actual real world asset NFTs, which they also have the ability to do through USDY, which they're partnered with Ondo, and they're partnered with Stellar for that. So through Ondo and Stellar, they can send NFTs like a stock or a deed to a house. They can send anything over that payment platform. Isn't that amazing to think about? But it's true, and they can do it, and they can probably do it already right now through Ondo and through Stellar. They could send a deed. We know they're partnered with Propiverse, and they're partnered with Algorand, which has its own real estate crypto. They could do that right now. Foosball. Bobby, don't be playing the foosball. I didn't ever check and see if Happy Gilmore 2 was good or not. Somebody let me know in the comments. Trump wanted the Clarity Act by the end of October. Thank you, Maui Mixer. Thanks for sharing that information. That's good. What's up, Eric Davis? I think clarity is the biggest thing we need to make heavy financial and enterprise players go all in. The big boys won't move fully until they're absolutely sure. 100%. And I think that is the biggest thing that's holding us back right now. Because a lot of people, due to misinformation, think it was passed already. So if it is by October, like Molly Mixer is saying, open the floodgates, right? And what does that line up with? The Ripple ETFs. Like, we're almost there, guys. People just have to be just a little bit patient. Coca-Cola Dragon Chain, let's go. Yeah, I need to have Joe Dragon back on, man. Yeah, really check out that interview, guys. People are really missing out on that one. You don't get ETH and BTC all-time highs out of a bull run. You don't get them out of a bull run? I mean, you do get those out of a bull run, which we had them. But I don't think we're done yet. We're definitely not done. Especially when you think about Ethereum. Ethereum just now topped over its high, I think. We're so not done yet. We're so not done. Who do you think we pumped this September after lunar eclipse? Projects are choosing this month to reveal huge developments partnerships. This has me thinking the tides will shift. 100%, brother. That's how I'm feeling too. I'm really feeling like that. Again, and if you guys want to take advantage of trading small movements in the stock market right over there, that QR code to the right. You can do futures trading on BTCC where you get free USDT if you fund your account there. So you don't have to keep your stuff in USDT. You can switch it to anything else. But there you go. So if you believe, like I and Crypto Crossroads Show believes, that September might be a big time, maybe it might be time for you to do a little bit of leverage trading. That might just an idea there. Do what you will. We're still in a bull run. We're rolling into alt season. I agree. Okay, see, that's what you were saying, Northland Air. Yep, I agree with you. In fact, let's bring up something that I shared this with the patrons. Shout out to the patrons. I share news with them almost daily. So let's see if we can find this. So patrons already got this news. Where is it at? Coinbase Institutional. So if you type in alt coin, so this is Coinbase's institutional. If I could spell right, can't spell my diphthongs. Pause. There we go. From Coinbase Institutional, August 14th. As September approaches, the transition to full-scale altcoin season is likely. So backing up what I'm saying, and bro, Crypto Crossroads Show, shout out to bro. Here it is from Coinbase Institutional, right? So we're so close, guys. We're just so close. Our positive third quarter 25 outlook stems from the macro trends such as potential Fed rate cuts and expected regulatory advancements, just like we were talking about with the Clarity Act. Here it is, right, guys? Here it is. It's right here. Oh, sorry, wasn't sharing it. I'm sorry, guys. Because if I share the whole screen, I run the risk of having people come into the chat. And I had some guys come into the chat and say some really bad things. So come in behind stage, not the chat, but behind stage. So sorry about that. Just be patient with me with this having to switch from tab to tab to tab to tab. And just make sure that no one can come in behind the stage. So yeah. So yeah, altcoin season is coming. As September approaches, the transition to, let me see if I can actually make this bigger. Here. Oh God, ended up clicking off it by mistake. Okay, there we go. Altcoin season is coming. As September approaches, the transition to a full-scale altcoin season is likely. Our positive third quarter 2025 outlook stems from macro trends such as potential Fed rate cuts and expected regulatory advancements. Okay, just what we're talking about right now with the Clarity Act. We already see Trump putting pressure on the Fed because he fired somebody. Of course, there's questions on whether he can do that legally. Doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't matter because the point is that he's putting pressure on them to lower rates. So with all of that, we're just a second before altcoin season. And what do they always do before they do before they come up? They hit us with the whole downward momentum to try to kind of drive you out. And then before you know it, bam. They did this with before Trump got elected. How they pushed H-bar down and they were all talking about a meme coin super cycle and all of that. Went from 8 cents all the way down to 4. And then bam. And now what's happening? We created a higher shelf. I'm not sharing it again. So here we go. So we went down from 8 all the way to 4. And then bam, all the way up to 40 cents. and then we created this higher shelf, and we're chilling down to like 21 cents, and then here it comes probably again, right? Bam, up to the next leg, which maybe we go from 21 and 10x there to $2. Who knows? Because this was a 10x, 4 cents all the way to 40. Maybe we go 20 cents all the way to $2. So here we go. I'm still waiting till 2030 to get the big money. Yeah, well, I don't. Okay, I got you. So understand when he's saying he's waiting, he already has money in right now. Because I know I saw some crypto influencers say, "Well, wait till the next bear market," and that I think is, of course, do whatever you want, do what's best for your portfolio. But if you're thinking you're gonna wait till next bear market and you're keeping money on the side, you're gonna be, not financial advice. Do whatever you want, right? But again, if you're doing whatever you want there, why would you wait? You could even say, okay, well, I think it's going to go down lower, but just so I have some skin in the game, I'll put in 25% of what I was going to put in instead of 100. So at least you're covered. But to wait with no skin in the game, but people are so like this, that, and they're thinking. And of course, there are reasons for that. The world makes it like that. But even if you feel like things are going to go lower, you could just say, okay, well, I'm just going to put in 20% of what I'm going to go with, or 10%. You know what I mean? 20 or 10% or 25%, if that's what you thought. Instead of zero skin in the game and being wrong and then just being quote unquote butt out, right? 333 watchers. Gotta love that number. Let's continue. Yeah, man. When you really dive into what blockchain is, you understand why Zebec is different. What's up, CEO? The acts are go into place a minimum 90 days later, but the passing of the law just sets everything into motion. There we are. Great point there. Great comment there, Maui Mixer. So again, a lot of people think when you see these things kind of pass, right, that like all is going to happen immediately. But really, you should be looking like 3 months out. Used to love that comic, Underdog. Yeah, me too. Think I'm going to go ahead and get my decent wallet. Thank you, Eric Davis. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Ruel. Though it's hard with so many great choices of crypto and not enough money. Yeah, I'm getting spread too thin. Me too, right? I have multiple ones that I'm in, and it's like, you definitely have to make a choice, right? How many cryptos do you want to be in? How focused do you want to be in? Are you getting passive income in those cryptos you're in? These are some of the things that we focus on in the Patreon. Shout out to the patrons. What's up, Yusuf El Bay? Appreciate you, brother. And I know you're an elder. Elder Bay in the house. Appreciate you for being in the house, brother. Appreciate you. I didn't see Swift. Which Swift, bro? Let's see here. Maui Mixer. I'll go back and comment. Crossroads. But under what's up, FMJ? But under corporate law is a person, an entity, and an entity isn't a man. Well, see, again, I'm not a tax person. But I've read some Black's Law Dictionary. Again, this is we could get really deep into this, and I know like some bays and things get into this real deep, right? And when you get into this real deep, you learn some things. You learn a lot of things. But yeah, under corporate law, a corporation is a person. I believe that is correct. but is that the question you're asking here? But under corporate law, a person is an entity, and an entity isn't a man. Ooh, I did not know that. A corporation is a person. Yes, yes, a corporation is definitely a person. Um, I'm a respecter of no person. Oh, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying there. Yeah, I was just mentioning that at these cryptos, if they say that for a reason though, right? If they made it so the MiCA laws say that a crypto can be defined as a person, and you gotta wonder about those things too, right? That yes, a corporation is a person too, and the whole thing about what a corp is, and we can make that synonym to some other words that we have in life, but I'm not going to go into that here. That's more of a Patreon conversation, but we could go really deep into a corporation, a crypto, a person, a man, a legal person, a social security number. We could go so deep into this stuff, but that would be a Patreon conversation. Um, Crypto defined as a person, mark of the beast coming. Well, see, you could take it there. You could take it to the mark of the beast, but then you could just say, okay, well, now is it tantamount to a corporation? And for all the people saying that crypto is just funny money, then how do you feel about the stock market? Because the stock market is supposedly, you're buying a piece of the corporation. So it's just the same quote unquote magic, if you will, to use that word, if we want to go to that word magic, right? It's the same kind of well, at least um legal magic as a corporation. Corporation is a person and a crypto is a person. Well, then is it so much funny money now? Is it? Because it's really the same kind of designation that a corporation has. Um, so we don't even we don't even have to take it to the mark of the beast thing, but we could take it to that type of thing. Um, what's up, XRP Rude Boy? A person is a dead entity, and there we are. We could go really deep into this, but I would prefer going really deep into this in the Patreon. You could go so deep into this, guys, and that's really deep when you go into etymology of words. Just like I said, January is the 11th month actually, and we're went into the god Janus. We could just go so deep into all of these, right? Just like how March is for the god Mars and the war god, right? Like Aries is the war god, and that happens to be the first month. So Mars, Aries, there's some match there as far as that goes. It's just we could go on for days with this, and I love having fun talking about this type of stuff. But it's stuff we definitely have to talk about behind the Patreon wall. Um, After the rags and the ETFs comes the ISO deadline. Is going to be November to remember 100%. The legalese is real when they start mentioning persons. I agree with you, FMJ. It's so real when they start mentioning persons. But when you think about that, that really makes crypto into a realm of people are just looking at it as like these funny little meme coins and these funny little meme pictures. But no, MiCA laws say it needs to be defined as a person. So definitely go and look into that. Definitely go and look into that. So it's pretty much tantamount to a corporation. Yusuf Al Bebe, I think we go up the last week of September. Should be the start. Bitcoin dominance is going lower. Yeah, 100%. With the Bitcoin dominance, brother. Total market cap just retesting the highest. Buckle up. Yep, there we go. Also, please let me know where I can join the Patreon. Link should be in the description to join the Patreon. Let me know if you guys have problems with that. I believe Coinbase launched their Mag 7. I'm not sure. Yusuf, I agree, but I think a big pump, then a crash first week of October, then it's to the moon. Ooh, crash, huh? There's not going to be another bull one like this one coming. I don't think so either. I really don't think so. Mess around and get priced out. 100%. 100%. That's why, like, I can't believe some people will listen to these guys. Like, why would you ever wait? That's like the worst thing right now. Like, imagine the people that were like, okay, I'm going to invest in XR. I don't know about XRP. I'm going to wait until the case is resolved. What? So now you're going to buy XRP. The case is finally resolved. Now you're going to buy XRP at an 11x of what you could have bought XRP at when the case wasn't resolved. So you're not going to do any looking into who the people are behind XRP. You're just going to let a case like dictate whether you make a smart financial decision or not. Like, it's just crazy, man. I don't understand. But of course, right? People spread misinformation for a reason, right? And it's up to you to take, not you personally, brother. Just it's up to us, right? Or it's up to one to double check that information and make sure that that information is accurate. Just in today's age, it's hard to get accurate information because your algorithm is automatically going to kind of agree with what it thinks you want, or it might guide you in a certain way. You really have to be keeping with the open mind to get the right information today. It's crazy. Just pick your favorite projects and continue to accumulate over several years, and you'll be straight 100%. I'm not taking anything till February. So salute, Chief. Salute. Appreciate you, brother. Not staking anything until February or after. There you go. I made that mention because the guy that had that excellent portfolio, he was missing Swift coin. Got you. Okay, got you. Yep. Swift would be a nice addition to Raul's portfolio there for sure. In many ways, to get around taxes, you can start a nonprofit and just donate to the foundation. That's a simple one without discharging from the establishment. Let's go, brother. I'm going to take a little picture of that. And we could get into stuff about taxes too, but we should probably I'll hold that to the Patreon. But that's a good one. That's a good one right there. Let me take a picture of that right quick. Why is my camera trying to run from me right now? There we go. Citizens United. Yes, indeed. Right. I want to be in this space now. I'll be curious. I'm going to use the funny money to buy a little island with a maid, a cook, and a masseuse, maybe in Thailand. Sounds like a fun time to me, bro. Right there. I like where you're going with that. What's good, brother? What's up, King Pound 1? Another frequent watcher. Appreciate you, brother. TK, you think ZBCN can get to 1 trillion by 2035? I think a lot of things might get to 1 trillion by 2035, and Zebec being one of them, especially if they're as tied into ADP as we think they are. Oh, that's going to be crazy, bro. We're going to be looking at excuse me, if you think about it that way, and you're staking, right? Every Zebec that you could be staking could be $1 or $3. Like every one that you earn could be $1 to $3, right? So it might not be that much where you're staking like a small amount, but you get 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 ZBCN, and come 2035, if Zebec is $3 and you got 10K Zebec that you earned from staking, well, you got 30,000. Just from interest, right? From staking. 2028, the world goes digital. There you go. How long do you think HBAR's price is gonna fall down to? How low? I think 21's kind of you can see it kind of snaking to a point of the triangle there. I don't think we get too much lower than 21 cents there. I believe digital money will be the future, so just in case, stack your bags. You don't want to be left behind. Always keep a long-term portfolio, 100%. And try to choose the projects that you can earn passive income, 100%. Not a crash, but a big dip. Okay, yep, thank you for clarifying that, Molly Mixer, on how you feel there. Oh, people are silly, man, 100%. Exactly, don't wait. Buy the dip, yes, indeed. Exactly, when people could buy XRP at 67 cents or 33% like cheap, right? It's like, it's crazy, bro. It's like, no, I'll wait till everything's figured out. What? Buy the dip. It was a lot of new YouTubers spreading a lot of FUD about XRP, yep, and that it was dead for the past 4 years, but we knew what we held. Yep, 100%. It was so many of those people, man, and people would believe that junk. Just sight unseen and not double check their work. It's crazy. Yep, could have bought it at 37 or 33 cents or 67 cents. Yeah, man, and and yeah, it's crazy. Winter is coming, 100%. Velo is a sleeping giant, 100% again. I'm loading up on ZBCN and XPR. Same here. Definitely check out our playlist where we talk XPR. And then same here, also on Loan Protocol, 100%. So nice long live here. We haven't done one of these in a while. I appreciate all you guys for hanging in on there. So if you made it to the end, let's put XDB in the chat. So not in the live chat, but once the live closes down, put it in the comments of the video. It'll help me. It'll help the video spread. It'll also help Mr. Kim see that we want XDB on DCENT Wallet. So soon as this live is off, put it in the comments of the video, XDB, and we'll get there. We'll get there. What's your take on the possibility of Japan carry trade unwinding, Ruel? Apparently, Japan may raise rates again. Last time that happened, the market went down 40%. I'm pretty sure right now we got the jackpot coming. As far as like with the September things, and as far as where we have also the Genius Act and everything. Like, let me go back to it here. I'm pretty much under the opinion of this right here. Altcoin season is coming as September approaches. Transition is full-scale altcoin season is likely due to Fed rate cuts and expected regulatory advancements. So once we get the Clarity Act, once we get the Fed rate cuts, I think that's what's going to really move stuff. I'm not as concerned about Japan. But thank you. What's up, Esco215? Also another long-term watcher. Luckily, I got in ZBCN last year when it was really cheap. Let's go. Sub-Zero Draper. XDB will be going down just for you. Got my first taste in March. I did okay. Okay, let's go. All right, guys, we're out of here. Everybody have a nice night. Thank you for the long live. And again, remember, put XDB in the comments. Peace.